So we listeners and supporters 441 talks say happy Christmas to everybody. And we tell God Almighty or Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala because he don't bring with this far. Bring with this far. So we ask how you don't start with Bismillah money, right? We are like we go with Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. Today now a very important day, in the history of online television broadcasting. Why important? We don't decide say we collaborate now we work as a team now. Because if we talk about unity in a salon, we for start them regardless of what's our commot, what's in our tribe, what's in our conviction, it's no. We were actually demonstrating what talk say put salon first. And that we mean. Today I get me on board and who all know what they call come on talk. I want to plenty time. Where he accept the invitation for like or two can joint program. Say come on talk now and get England. Because we're on platform, not everybody they go. So the thing where they do that, it also they can help promote this platform, yeah. That's one of the things where they do. Then the team spirit, now they bring here today. Let God bless them. Let God bless the family. Let God make this team spiritual. Don't get for promote salon. Let that be the thing. Now, so go bring peace and quiet and togetherness that salon. Inclusivity. That is for the diversity. No, the manage them. So my brother and Mr. Come on Talk, I want to welcome you and I want to let you tell everybody what you do. And again, you say also pray for we where God on bring with this one. So over to you, sir.
Right, thank you very much, and it's a pleasure for make come na Professor Kutubu in platform for the first time. Na man where we get high respect for because of imbalanced view. Plenty people now they follow we na Common Talk platform. I'm sure say the face new, strange, but just in case perhaps na the first time see me. My name na Mr. Common Talk. Me na the CEO of the Common Talk platform, a social scientist and also a political analyst, as well as again social media analyst. All of them then they under we own control, and we there for promote salon. We there with the collaboration. We believe say yes, each and every one of we get role for play for push we country go before. In this age and technology, we not get no excuse. Absolutely no excuse. The world don't become even more smaller, like a global village. You don't become, even smaller than that. So with the advent of the internet, with technology, trust me, if you get a well body, you choose for do something as hello, you able to. So we get that obligation that we feel obligated, just like what John F. Kennedy once said. Do not ask what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country. That's not the key. In fact, in we own side, that's not the deep inspiration of those words really church we. And we share those mentality for what? For empowering communities, inspire active citizenship, and contribute to the development of we come to what we call Salon. All right, over to you.
Okay, come on. Do you have the only thing make it be loud because I know they so get you. I don't know the microphone. I know they so.
They get yes, really.
Okay. What do they do now? Actually, not to interview now. General discussion how they hold now. General discussion. What may they do? They review the whole year, the whole of 2024. Will they take them all waiting on B? How? And then in the end, we prescribe the way forward.
Yeah.
So in a situation like this, I want to let you take the lead, sir. We're reviewing the year 2024.
Well, there are so many things that will happen. Primarily, we go just take out the main one there because we get 365 days in the year. So if we say we're not able done here, so then we get just short time. But the key thing where lead me to this all is about governance. It's about we seriousness as a nation. It's about the political elites then where perhaps there seems to be misguided. There seems to be disconnected with the reality. When you see what's happening at Salon, a country with a huge potential, a country where get more than 27 proven mineral, worth valuable mineral resources, including lithium, including diamond, including coal, including bauxite. I mean, the rest we all know. On top of this, we get a fertile soil. We get a beautiful climate. We're not envy of the world. Yet still, we stay in abject poverty. It's abysmal, for say the least. But what bring we come on? What bring we come all to this? Well, people can tell we say we deserve the leader way we get based on the majority of the people. Wait till we get on a salon, not by accident. Now the way we think, now the way we believe. Most of we believe in the political parties then pass the country. If we, most of we in terms of if they try to talk about nationalism or patriotism, they use and throw in political party. If I'm party in a power, that's not patriotism. It become patriotic. Not all support the country. But if you're not in party in a power, then the other thing that happen. Now we see many things. A key thing with the pull here is the election. Why would they call this election? Because of course, up to this point, people still believe, say, some section of the country still believes, say, or I mean, Lord just put some section of APC still believes, say, the election over it, anything can happen along the line. But we also see the way we governance in terms of we economy don't become even more tighter. Government in any world part of the world now obligation una get because una ask for this obligation from people for make una can more or less like they can say I want to work for you. This now application. We all I'm sure we all get jobs there. When you want to go work for a company, you just send your CV, apply, go interview. I mean, you get what called job description. Now the job description for political aspects, now like the manifesto, what they can do for we as the electorate, we are the boss. But unfortunately, we see promises over promises there. But one key factor where people then see, then they're not able to understand that the way the elite, the governance, the governors and the behave as well as the govern, the people as well as the leaders. Now, this election don't become something where a charm in the eyes of many people. It don't become so much controversial that we don't know who's out for cool. But I want to put three things here. In any governance, in any democratic dispensation, we get three arms of government. We all know when are the legislature, we get the executive, and the judiciary. And three are they're supposed to make the country become a better country. Now, if you look at the laws already passed inside, look at Parliament alone, the mining act them, where they don't where no get even that how would I say, then they will get the people them mining contractors supposed to be on the inside the heart of every negotiation. But unfortunately, when they see they happen, look the quite the holdings, for example, and many other mining companies and contracts we don't go down. Now we look at waiting the issue of the first lady. The issue of the first lady with the receipts, with Lara Taylor Pierce. This is now one of the things will be happen where spark outrage. And we also look at Parantarawali as well known as the Clerk of Parliament, where on record, the Nkechan, he employing with and they paying woman more than $1,500. According to record, this is not your record, not your record, and up to more than 2 years. Yet still the ACC be left. And now then one of the things with trigger social media, a lot of people ask where the ethics. Because of conflict of interest, this man supposed to probably even resign. And we also see the issue about the former immigration boss, when Kaikai, where people see on social media, it go to Parliament, it go more or less. I mean, saying they had the anti-drug commission, but during the time where they deliver this, where they interview. It disclosed to get 5 motorcars, including Benz wagon, G-Wagon. It gets Toyota Prado. I mean, very expensive motorcar there. Where people don't put their all is more than $500,000. Now, so people in the ask, we get anti-corruption laws where say certain gifts and there you need for reporter. And people be feel say SEC go take action, but unfortunately, SEC put statements say they're not found any, you not do anything wrong. That now one of the thing again, and we also see the tripartite. The tripartite now one of the thing after the election, we see the kind of a little bit of what they say, it generates the hate across the country. People in the future after the tripartite will get run or fresh election or perhaps Mother Build and go pull on a power, maybe somewhere go be, but it not happen. And we see another one, a statement we made by President Bio, we say in if somebody count bullets, it go return with bullets. These are other statements back which shock people in the same 2023. And again, we come back to the one and we shock people where Lara Tilopias, the commission wouldn't set this commission, a lot of people we look say it's supposed to be partial, but they found wanting the respected Auditor General Winner Lara Tilopias and in deputy. And that particular one day shock a lot of people because we get for monitor, we get for do it and call accountability, transparency, judicious expenditure. We get for make sure say we answer on things that we actually matter. We let 2-3 few people and not they just take we money and spend as how they want. So, but what's again inside that commission day, they say them for recommend governments recommend. I mean the commission recommend let them send them to anti-corruption. Well, perhaps the last one where we go tap for now, we get for out more, but for now just tap and for so. We see that there on the 15th, we see the Parliament of Sierra Leone finally votes for remove Lara Tilopias as well as in deputy. Out of 137 members of Parliament who be witness, 100 of them vote against, them vote in favor for let them pull her. And out of that 100 there, you get between 8 to 9 APC members of Parliament. This caused a lot of debate on social media. People ask, what is going on with all this? And for make the matter worse, the APC parliamentarian, I will quote for you one when Tememko, then be interviewed on one program we had. Wherein he say they receive, the leadership receive $30,000 as a bribe from government. This is not to be words. This now waiting, then say a clip there. I'm sure you know they watch them program, then they all over social media. So it shocked people there. Who's on the line? Who's on the who's out for the line for fed corruption? So it shocked a lot of people there because that money wanna take. If that allegation hold, that money wanna take. Una not only destroy una future, but una destroy future generation, then future. So I think I will tap with them few ones there. Like I say, the entire year, the thing then the drama be boku, but they were even if we church one of them, so we know we will done the program tonight. All right.
Okay, thank you for that. That was a really lengthy detailed account here. Now, the other thing we for look at, the opposition party, you don't believe say even as you don't believe say now they for change focus in the sense, like una England that where this election may not take place, waiting the parties they do, especially the Conservative Party, they don't try for bringing new people in where the election take place. See they bring that Nigerian city. Yeah. Kenny when at the head for the Conservative Party now. Yeah. One thing way I sure you will agree with me. One thing about politics, the greatest enemy in our politics is time. At time, the greatest enemy. Time. Because you go say when I get that time, but time not the. You know things it's about now time. Let the opposition, if they really now want, then they aim at forming the next government. You know, be listening about time now. Let them, get the acts together, close all the camps, bring all the people together, so they begin to move in one accord. Because this question of now the Samora group, this now they own group that to me now are defeatist, politics standing. This is the way I'm looking at it. And obviously the majority party go capitalize on it. So if you say about time that they begin close ranks now, then they begin the, aim at, the fact that, we get for present that this now we get for do, we go present a better, how they call it, present people here. But this, this team there, that team there, and I mean, how you look at what are your assessment for the way forward for the opposition if they really want for kind to governance?
First thing first, we have to acknowledge the fact when we talk about a democracy, we talk about two key factors, two key, what I say, strong forces. We talk about the government, the incumbents, and the opposition. Without these two forces, we're not able to get formidable governments. In fact, the opposition are part of a government. A lot of people like if you say, when they say opposition, you for just talk and for criticize. No, you are part of government. And if you opposition or opposing constructively, that's not the word, keyword, constructively. Just then say a criticism or opposing for the sake of opposing is just nonsensical. So that's the word we for understand. Now, when it comes to then control offend we say, I will give two examples first. Yeah, Labour being a power. I'm sorry, Conservative being a power. The Conservative, the Labour, they put themselves together, they organize themselves well, and they take the reins of power from the hands of the Conservative. Now Labour then have power now. Now it come back to America again. We see the Democrats then when they didn't have power, but because of them policy more or less no align much with the people in terms of maybe their involvement in maybe the wars across the world, perhaps maybe the economy, they do better as how they anticipate. We see the Republican put a strong fight and then take the seats of power from there. In January, we know say that it's January 20 or so, Donald Trump, they come in power. So coming back to Salon, the point where they make here is, for let you go sit on that hot seat, you get for be formidable. You get for actually know what you do. Now, we get in the APC, there are three factors and three factions. You get the Samura camp. You get the chairman in camp. Samura, mind you, now be the flag bearer. He still retain that position. In fact, then be the action for like get the keys there. He still get the keys there, and he still consider himself as the flag bearer. Though you get the chairperson. The chairperson when Minkailu not to secret, now open secret. He and Samura know the pool. We don't see two of the audios there, and two of in visits there. One way go to Southeast, we call Samura reckless driver. He say if you get a reckless driver, and he say the driver, you need drive on a farm now for change. So definitely now Samura be the refer to, and we see that generates a lot of discussion. And recently back, it talks say no one is indispensable in terms of politics and Salon. So it clear with all indication that Samura and Minkailu, they know they see one. Another controversial figure, this guy, Alfred Peter Conte. Alfred Peter Conte, as you know, now the man this wake out that NR movement, National Information Movement, where we take APC originally in a court because of it said the constitution violates the national constitution, democratic for me and get a reform. And he still maintain, can you move? So technically, the opposition gets two chairman. Alfred Peters, who they talk sooner, is still regarding himself as the chairman of APC. He used a letterhead. Few weeks ago, we see they write letter to ECOWAS, to international body, to ECSL, and we get then here. So now we come to the point. They always tell VC for unite. These are just common logic. For Leona unite, for Leona do anything as a team, and get for be formidable. The team word together, everyone achieves more. That's not the word of itself, team. So if the APC not there together as a team, then 2028 perhaps then will still be back in limbo because this now a benefit to the government. Look, the idea for divide and rule, not to no more Salon day. It only from time immemorial. In fact, now one of the only trick now the political books then, even the West, they do. Yeah, they do. So everybody will get chance for that. Now the government, they really use that. They are the best to their best advantage. Then just let's say just a stock fire. But the thing where sometimes I can get problem with the government, they're not they do this, they're not they help because you need forget somebody where they criticize you constructively. Why? When you appoint certain key people there, with certain benefits, then there are some then they fear for tell you the truth. Why? Because we know what's in power can mean. We know those facilities. So even if you get a genuine concern, we go and advise the president, you go fear say, perhaps if I advise the president, if you don't let this advice, it might remove me and put bread in my mouth. So a lot of people, even though they get a genuine concern about certain things, they will not say it because they're afraid of losing their job. If you do have the opposition is fearless. She'll be able to construct and to criticize it constructively and bring up alternative views or suggestions or policies where go support the governance. But unfortunately, we see government they actually use this divide, because we understand the COI, the Commission of Inquiry. When the Commission of Inquiry come, people like us, we are all over social media. We are so happy. We were celebrating the idea because we wanted to make sure that impunity must stop. A lot of the time we can say an above case, so me someone will support her. But unfortunately, we see again they use the COI, Commission of Inquiry, for make sure say certain people are not killed and go to court, then pull it, they negotiate on behalf of the people without even come back to the people and ask us, all right, we don't set the Commission of Inquiry. Mr. XY was a criminal, but we wanted to let him or her off the hook, but government just decided on their own. Then left some people or some people and do them behind blackmail just for divide. So APC for that just found up this particular question. If they're not put their house together, then we'll continue for the in opposition.
Yeah, that's again another brilliant. Yeah. Now, I don't know if you don't see. I know one caller audit report or whatever financial documents and we don't come out. But this now, as we know, found that from the government incessant from the government people then. So what's your assessment of the because waiting about the figures and what they did very damning, waiting on come also now to me even was past waiting live to So what are your assessment about this, sir?
Well, yeah, well, when it comes to those figures, I think what I want to do, Sev, I think I got some of those figures. I just want to read them to Fambule. Last year, I will get, now just check now, yeah. I want to read them to Fambule, let people know. This not to we make an this now waiting. And I just want to be precise. I just want precise. All right. Okay. I think I have them here. All right. In 2019, when Madabio Kana power, 177.5 billion now missing or accounted for. In 2020, 153.9 billion now in loss or unaccounted for. In 2021, 175.5. Okay, I don't pass Sunday. In 2022, now 317 billion unaccounted for. That in 2023, this one will come also now 233.7 billion now loss or unaccounted for. Now, this last one we call for you so a problematic. Why? Because we understand the man who they other would call Aziz are just like a puppet to the regime. Why? Because these are one of the people there, according to source, we be the work against the Auditor General because of the way the human be strict. There is one institution where plenty people, regardless of then they talk highly of. One of that key institution now the Auditor General. If you ask APC person, in fact, SLPP benefits a lot from the Auditor General's reports when they be on opposition. They use that frequently. Each year, they celebrate. So, it's ironical for seeing now when they kind of power, when the woman they continue to do the same job, what they celebrate for her, then try for punishing, torture, ridicule, and ultimately fire. And it's very, very dangerous. So that's clearly tell you say there's something we lacking in we political elites then thinking, then disconnected with the reality. You are not there to, not to share club in the run purely. You're running a government, you must be accountable to people. You must. And one of the body will respect Naim. In fact, a lot of people in say she was more even effective than the ACC boss. Because when you check all of the institutions, one of the things where a lot of people can get problem with the ACC, we're not able to see insignificant role. Rather, in terms of making the difference. But Now, like selective justice, I will give several examples. Parantara Walina 1, Kaikana 2, that 49,000 bags of rice, the Minister of Agriculture, Timbo, something like Timbo, in case they're not going to offer. So again, I come to the point of when you mentioned this audit general, according to 2021 report from the EU, they named 5 institutions for being extremely corrupt in the country. They not put the auditor general there. That shows you say they got confidence in that. They name the judiciary, they name the parliament, they name the police, they name NEC, they name PPRC. These are 5 institutions where the EU name as corrupt institution. So again, if they celebrate institutions, these are the institutions where we for celebrate that the auditor general, they could not ever mention by any corruption. But the rest, we then get problem with them. So I don't know what I will say much, but I just want, there's one thing I can always say, we're not serious. We're not take the country serious. Because if we take it serious, this is the subject way for them at the lips of every Sierra Leonean, especially when it comes to this amount to them pool and why they fire this person and why this amount come out.
Good. Having a lay that kind of a foundation there. In your opinion, what should we way forward with this kind of existential quagmire where we don't find ourselves in politics? We not seen for you before, even in terms of electoral process, thing where they bring people their power, we still get difficulty in trying for determine who that would have for the inner power. Waiting at the way forward, how we will get ourselves out of this quagmire so. Because I must tell you, this the trend is just not encouraging at all. The electoral process now one that we just know. So what now we way forward out of this problem here as you see how we go before.
All right, it's a good question. First, now active citizenship. Many times we get this talk, they say politics, now government business, make them try it.
After the program.
Let them try it, our government business, not to me business. This word, we don't pass from generation to generation, saying our government business, not to business. Now you know the problem. Because people they're not seeing for care. They're not seeing for care. And trust me, anything where you not get interesting, they take her, they able to get the value of her. Many times now we don't witness demonstration there. If, for example, government want to take certain decision at the UK, at the West, they see citizens and they come out in thousands. If you're not in favor of them, they come out in thousands and they raise their voice. Sometimes before they remember 1 or 2, 3 months, they don't adjust them. So citizens therefore be active. Active citizenship therefore take place. Secondly, we got to try for change with mentality, reset and get a vision and get to the true patriotism, and we avoid that clan-based thinking. What I mean by clan-based thinking, we as Sierra Leoneans, and the way it's supposed to be a blessing, coming from different tribes, it's supposed to be a blessing. There is strength in diversity, but unfortunately for we now weakness in diversity. If this man I'm a tribesman, it in our governance, if they do bad, enough for opposer. If this man come up from another region, if they do good, I know they praise them because now that if this not Limbana, then they not power. If this not Mendera, then they not power, and then forget more job, and then forget preference. These are all kind of clan-based thinking and a small thing. Now small thinking, Andy. And until we see ourselves in that green, white, and blue, we see Salon that the only way, now the only country where we get. I mean, simple logic where they left Salon, where loan at your ports, that you book, nine they represent you. Tribe not there, religion not there, now Sierra Leone they represent. But unfortunately, when we in Salon, that's not the case. So active citizenship, patriotism, put we country before and make sure say we lack we safe. That in itself again a strong power. Though again the school system, the way we understand the education we get, it really not help we so many ways. apart from the fact that they teach we everything in foreign language, where you get for try for translator and your language for they understand. Ghana they depend for counter policy. The vice president, the newly elected vice president elect, they try for put a policy for let them teach. Most of the universities they elect and the schools and for the teach in the local dialect because then feel say it make more. Look at the Vietnamese there, the Japanese there. And they don't speak English for Bill Mutuka them for industrialized. No, they're local language. But look like the Chinese, for example, again, where and there not be the difference not be much in the 50s, in the 40s, with many African countries today, they're not super world power. Again, we come to the educational aspect. We are in certain key subjects there, we not teach them. One key thing, if I get the opportunity for being Minister of Education or for give advice, we say catch them young. In Japan, integrity now one of the subjects we they teach. Integrity, we lack an salon. Most of the politicians they lack that integrity. Integrity means a lot. It means a lot. It means self-respect. It means love for the country. It means your action. You get to think about the action, how you go affect the next person positively or negatively. Integrity means patriotism. It gets a lot, but when people don't get all of that, it lead to something where we all fancy till they want corruption. And why if you say people in Japan, if they get champion corruption, they kill themselves? It's because they instill in them the integrity for say, for thief public funds. Why if you say now China, people will be so careful for thief because they get you the death penalty there for you. They instill in that. A few days ago, we see some of them bank, and I think one bank governor wouldn't done sentenced to death because they catch in corruption. If we only begin to teach we safe, just like all the teach begin in the small ones say this not Timney, this not Limba, not it's this, not and the same we change those values, we begin to change, catch them, we catch them when they're young. We talk about integrity, we teach those the ethics and they at the small age. It still can stay with people, then definitely we don't settle society for a much more better society than we bullet in. There are a lot of subjects we don't need. A lot of subjects and we don't even need. Like the Roman history, then yes, I understand all knowledge is knowledge. All knowledge is it's not a waste, but certainly we get for actually like we say appropriate knowledge. Appropriate knowledge now we get for use just like the appropriate technology where each and every country now we don't succeed so they use at one time. Now what do we need as a country? We need those appropriate education way for make we country go forward. I think that could possibly be some of the areas that we will pay attention if we want to move forward as a nation.
Okay. Thanks so much for that. Now, again, like what are the reason why in we own country, why alternate foreigners in here for kind of the visit we not get a system of governance such as a constitution who will rely on, we now for care for all time, people them. How you see this, especially if they claim to be in a sovereign nation, how you say?
Well, the word itself, sovereignty, exists. Even in the general word itself, exists. Sovereignty belongs to, I think, only one being we go. For we are small time because Lord put God aside. Put God aside. Sovereignty, exists. Well, let me just put on for the sake of argument's sake, which we get theoretically say we get to 1991 constitution. Like sovereign, we not say alone. It describes us as a sovereign state and sovereign country. You can't be sovereign where you not get food for feed yourself. You can't be sovereign where your economy they in shambles. You can't be sovereign where you not value yourself. You can't be sovereign where even majestic, where the rest of the world do not pass you important. These are some of the things where sometimes a laughable where we use the word we are sovereign nation, where even for run with government, pass we good trust to other people. Just like papa, us. For feed the people, for pay the picking family, pass you good trust to neighbor. You will get a respect. For the rest you picking, pass you go lens, you go pick and run a dirty box. You can't you will get respect among the company then. You know, will get that kind of respect. So again, we are not a sovereign nation. Yes, theoretically we are, but in practical terms, when you look at it, we are not, because we can't be, and because we want for let we did as state. We see ourselves as helpless people, people in way like miskina there, where you know, ironical, given all the blessing where God puts in that country, we're supposed to be one of the richest and most powerful nation in West Africa, perhaps among even the world. Why? Because God don't bless we with almost everything what we need for survive. And God no can don't again can transform those resources. I mean, for let we live a better life. If we can't use the brain, then we'll not get no reason for blame God for anything. So again, if you talk about sovereign, we go talk for the rest of the day. And if you say we fall into that category of being sovereign, we are not.
Now, offices like bank governor, the other corner get the central bank in England, the Bank of England, Chief Justice, Auditor General, you know, some other offices in there. Really, they're accountable to Parliament, not to an administration. Why is it that Salon all the time that the executive branch now they meddle in some offices then way then are the preserve of the, you know, the legislative branch of government? John Equity happen so in this auditor here. Why, whether the reason why we get a parliament, whether they stand up to the constitutional responsibilities, waiting at the when are the fault, I mean the faults them, or waiting at the factors and we see where they, you know, prevent them from making sure say their own legislative authority, you know, it don't get usurped.
All right, first thing first, I think I like this question. I want to take you back into history, quick one. The reason is very simple. Because we found people that can get parable, they say, no, look who say for don, look who say book foot. Not so. There's parliament, then starts this parliament in foundation. The foundation of this parliament then starts out with corruption. Why? I'll give you an example. When Britain decided for Guinea independent in 1961, April 27, we know they get parliament. Dr. Khalifa Smart chased the British people there. He asked them for me them bill for a parliament. Britain refused. Why? Because they say the dates it don't closer. They can't do that for us. Khalifa Smart, now you want to go to the Israelis. The current parliament we see so today, now aid from Israel. In fact, the contractors there, now Israelis there. The original budget of that particular house day, now £400,000. And that'll be the original budget. Now the parliament will foresee forget 3 phases. Only one phase and then be able to do the General Assembly. But it's supposed to forget 3 phases. The original what do they say? The plan of that parliament forget 3 phases. But they end up for bill 1. They end up for bill 1 phase. When at the General Assembly, 3 times of the cost. Imagine, in fact, when they begin, I reach a point, a stop. The government or the contractors and then give them, I wouldn't say, cache blanche, spend no check. Team for cost, the 3 phase for cost 400,000. At the end of for make only 1 General Assembly, will cost 3 times of that money there. So now the first recorded corruption inside wave for begin. So I tell you back, they say, no look usai for them, look usai boki foot. So that laid the premises. That laid the premises for now we go into when I say override corruption. Now they happen at the country. In time now, like now they buy things there. And it boiled down to the education of the guy for talk. It appears as if people, these parliamentarians, they don't know what they are doing. They don't know their powers. And honestly, ignorance not a sick. Ignorance is a disease. But the good thing about ignorance, it's curable. You do have remedy. For example, you can go to school. You can ask people who know. You can educate yourself and get rid of ignorance. And nothing where we all can start. You can ignorance about a particular field. You learn yourself. You know So basically these people are ignorance of their powers, because the parliament is so powerful that that's not the only institution where gets that power for even remove the president, someone and ask some difficult question, or any other person in the country, as long as you're a public official. So if you don't know your power, if you don't know who you are, you're not able to add value, you're not able to know, you're not able to stand for your rights. It comes back to the kind of people where we get at the country. Statistically, we get more people where no land book, more than 40 to 50%, where roughly then get, we didn't say like middle level education, roughly. The underway land. So the underway no land book, then Boku pass the underway land book. And wickedly enough, those numbers where land book, where go university, colleges, where for help, for be a beacon of hope, where for spread that knowledge there, then they manipulate the people and turn them into how they want them. So we end up forget people who they go inside parliament, they're not sabi what then they go there for, they're not sabi their roles, they're not sabi their responsibility, they're not sabi their strengths, they're not sabi their weakness. So anything they can and go, once it come from the executive, and take and say, now then God. They would then for fear, then they fear the executive. So the bank governor suppose, I remember at one time they invite the bank governor, I commodity, he go make blunder. What are the blunder we go do? He said then spend 68, then wasted $68 million. Governor Calon. And not so we say, they're on record for bribe people because money scarcity of the loans be there. So they spend $68 million on bribery. He used the word bribery. So people say, wow. So they've used the word bribery. Later on, they say, no, mistake, or maybe really mean. But we don't see much discipline out of aspects of it. So the long and short here is those people who are in that parliament, they don't even know them powers. And let's just face the fact. If you don't know your worth, you're not going to sell her to you're not going to sell her and make better gains.
As you know, when you talk about democracy, not so for your votes no more. Free speech or freedom of the press, now an integral part of the democratic process. Because without that, talking of democracy is meaningless. But increasingly, it appears free speech that's is being stifled. How, on the face of that, people then will lay any legitimate claims of being a democratic entity? I mean, you're able to explain that kind of, contradiction there in irony there?
All right, yeah. Well, in that kind, first, we know say you get when they say you're right, you get responsibility as well. In as much as you get right, you also get limitation. Just like all the drive, I mean, not because you get license for drive, you can drive any side. There are side actually you don't drive there, there are limitations. And sometimes if you park this, they give fine, or maybe they can even put points on your license. However, we see that the current government, then they fear free speech, which is, I think, now one of them biggest mistake. Then they fear so much criticism that even the slightest provocation, they get irritated. The slightest provocation. I'll give you a typical example. I'm sure you probably go to hear about this guy we call this mentally retarded man we call Blacker. We all know say well. People are well and they use them for politics talk against the government or whatever. He just talk no more. Kutubu Blacker, or you know about her. You get me?
Yeah. I don't get that part of it, sir.
Blacker. You hear about Blacker? You don't hear about Blacker?
Yeah, that's right.
Very good. So Blacker, they talk about certain things that happen in the country. Even though he mentally retarded, he seems to be unwell. But some of the things now waiting people are worried. Guess what? Thugs people who identify themselves as SLPP thugs beat them mercilessly, not to one thing, not to two thing, not to three thing. So again, I come to the point here is the appetite for free speech in order na the political will of the government. Even though government will argue tell you say in 1965 Public Order Act Part 5 has been repealed. Why? Successive governments and not be get mind, but the government go boast it and pull up. But however, then count cybercrime law, bill, a law. This in was passed in 1965 Public Order Act in Part 5. So it's like then give opposite they give with in left hand, it take with the right hand. Nine do so. So unless until people can get the freedom for criticize constructively, the word itself constructively, we're not going to get a better democracy. I can always know for sure. Once you are surrounded by yes men, that's not the wouldn't say now you demise standing at the beginning of your destruction of any political leader, any political leader. You shouldn't be surrounded by yes men. Anything we say now, yes, yes, you know to God. Now God no more, I ain't get now in the angel, I ain't forget, yes. But you as man, we all they forget, we all they make mistakes, blunders there. Therefore, I encourage it bitter. They say a criticism from a friend is better than a kiss from an enemy. Sometimes let people criticize you aloud because sometimes you see yourself in the eyes of others better than the way you see yourself. Yes, especially in genuinity, sincerely. Some people you tell you plain, I feel about you, and not just a fact. If you're not a person who is smart enough, you go learn from that and do some kind of revise or review. You review your entire maybe you game where they play or your activity for let you gain more. Because feedback very very important. Why feedback important? Because I they inform you, show you strength, your weakness. But if a government not they tolerate free speech, they allowed no if you talk against them, not only way you talk for them and they accept, then they undermine even the democracy itself and they undermine development, and that what they help we for go before as a country.
Again, as we can wrap up because we see for them the church. For waiting go be you advise to we way out of the country. We get the privilege for the talk waiting they do because since you come, you like not go off internet, not go off, you the talk. So waiting go be your advice to the rest of we in social media, either who the right or who the talk. How we for handle this social media now for let it positively impact we country and people and let it, how they will benefit from what they do. Waiting will be your advice to me, which we're not supposed to do. How we for use any kind of privilege. If I mean I call a privilege, you will get so. Waiting will be the advice, sir.
Well, first and foremost, we have to remember, say we all are ambassadors. We all Salomon with the outside of the country, we all are ambassadors. It means a lot. You represent the green, white, and blue. And think about Salon. And all we think, say, no believe, say, nobody, absolutely nobody, no come on. Nowhere in the world for go Apple country and for go below country. No. Forget about these investors where they're e-bots. Now businessman there. Then get them country there. Who side their hand? They are business and they go do. Now me and you two go actually make the difference. Now me and you two go make Salon before other people can work at Apple. The advice to Salon person, we use one lens. What's another lens? The green, white, and blue lens. Now for use. If we use that lens there, certain thing, even if now your political party, if you're not good for the country, speak up. If now your party they do, if like regardless of the situation, as long as say you don't fall under the purview of the green, white, and blue, try for speak out. There's three type of people in our society where you get for choose from. You get the people that will know, they know they talk. You get the people that way they talk, they don't know what they talk. They don't know what they talk. And we get on social media. And you get the people that will know, then they talk. So you get for choose. And they all get a role. If you know they talk, well, I want to let the country go before. But if you don't talk, you don't know what you talk, then again, you're not danger to even society. So let us think about that. We get only one Salon, and me and you two no more for change that country day. Now put the country interest before and forget about this partisan, tribalism, regionalism. You born good picking, get nowhere. We don't practice them for 60 years, no difference.
Right. So as we the wrap up, waiting will also be the advice to the opposition in terms of which their own constitutional responsibility, especially the one within the parliament. I mean, from waiting, I don't know if you were able to share this view with me. From waiting me, they see now almost like a system of governance where almost don't look like that in one party rule 90 now. But not to show the people that made the political, arrangement. You get forgetting the government and the opposition we get for put the government on how they call them, and then make sure say they are being watched and the citizens. But we are not seeing this as exemplified by waiting just to happen at parliament. So and their vote. So waiting will be your advice to the opposition in terms of the constitutional responsibility to the country.
Okay, like I mentioned earlier on in the beginning of this program, I said opposition is part of government. Opposition is government in waiting. Opposition should be a supporting tool. Opposition should be like a supplementary. Opposition should be like an ad hoc to the main to it will be like an auxiliary force to the main force when are the government. And they're not for just do because they're not opposition and for just oppose for the sake of oppose. Like I say, opposition for the sake of opposing is just nonsensical. And also then for members say, when you oppose, if you also get solutions, practical solutions, alternative view, viable options where people can go look into, then decide, oh yeah, I think it makes more sense. And I think again, government get for open up and accept, because sometimes opposition will say, we don't recommend A, we don't recommend B, C, D, but government they listen. Government they take this, government they take that. So both sides, in as much as we select the opposition become more let them be constructive in opposition. At the same time, government also for listen and absorb some of those things that wouldn't feel say necessary for the interest of the country. But we get a problem at the country. The problem is if this idea come up from the opposition, you find out that perhaps the incumbent might be afraid for say if they implement it, then go say at the opposition. So even though a good thing, they can tend for ignore because they no one give the credits to the opposition and they forget about the bigger picture. Say not to the opposition winner, not to them winner, but not the country and winner. So I feel say the opposition role for be robust in supporting government, and governments for also ready for accept that support.
What will be your closing remarks, especially with this kind of camaraderie who don't get this team spirit? Well, we decide for collaborate as a team. So what will be your closing remarks in the context of and with me go and call this the renaissance in public information who they come to who they come as a team for them. So what will be your closing remarks in that context?
Well, it's always a good thing because when you look like the East Africans, they don't master the social media. In fact, they're so powerful. The social media is so powerful that the elected officials need to free them in the sense that if they invite anyone, you rush for good day. Because if you dare not for good day, then they discipline you. Discipline in the sense people then really go hard on you in terms of your responsibility. You need for can talk to the people there. And we try for go this community. We're still we get challenges in the country, internet challenges. These are some of the things that we really we hope the government they work on. If you check the media press and the internet users now, say generally on YouTube, we get between 300 to 400,000 people. Facebook now we get the largest, between 800 roughly to maybe 1 million. On Twitter we get between 30,000 to 70,000, and we get TikTok between I think 150,000 roughly, something like to 200,000. So the point here is what we talk about. We're talking about 8 million people here, and the internet penetration is very small. So these platforms that they create, this ecosystem of information what they create, if we continue for NOSA, it go germinate to a point where it go thick, strong, and it will spread and cover all aspects of we activities as Salon. And once our force is strong, the media are very powerful. We go make a whole lot of changes. So for we, from the Common Talk, that's something we cherish, that's something we look forward to, that's something we really look forward to, and we can't wait to continue doing this.
Well, Mr. Common Talk, I want to use this opportunity for thank you so kindly for it, because now working place that they come also rush Canaya. This actually they show the commitment, the level of commitment. This to show the seriousness. this is show how dedicated we are, for the NTR. So I really, really want to thank you very much for taking the time for come. We're not giving excuse, you come and work and all that thing. And I want to pledge, my assurance that I will always be available for local talk national issues them. Things that really care the country go before. We must agree for put Salon ahead of anything what they do. Because me
Absolutely.
and you know, in our society will agree with me, without that place where they call Salon, we not go we not before even in before in England, we not before in America. So we might not like the political direction of the country, but that not for translate for dislike for the country. The country officer not do anybody bad. Now the actors them we need for the stress this. Say Salon officer not do anybody bad. The way to the decision on the part of the actors them, the actors. So therefore separate the actors them from the country because they're not to the country. The country, the whole entity of itself.
Yeah.
Now the bad actors them who can allow the stress this to people them. Let make sure say that nobody know they give Salon bad name. No, not the drag them na the mud. Nigo rather prefer the drag the so-called politician, they know they drag them na the mud because they are responsible because considering all the resources we Salon get, we not for even they look for help from anybody.
Absolutely.
We not for they will not even get electricity where you consider seven rivers in the country. Water for the flow, electricity for the flow, and all of them today. But at the misgovernance of the country, the misdirection of the resources, the misplaced priorities, I don't put you in that quantity. I make Salon and me not go. I not go hesitate for say we are a captured society. We almost on the head for the abyss, but by God power, we go to come now. Like so they point out that here so stand firm because once we not talk, it means to they give paradoxical comfort and solace to misgovernance and the logic of lawlessness. So I want to thank you again very much for coming, and I look forward to teaming up with you by God power. Early next year for law come up with other issues and analysis of them. Again, thanks very much, Sam, and let God continue for protect NIG, sir.
Thank you very much, Professor Kutubu, for inviting me, and I always look forward again in future for that kind of invitation.
Okay, sir. Goodbye, sir.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.